podcast.ph launched in 2014, August na. Tapos yung nilaunch namin, nilaunch ko muna, ako na mag-isa, yung programang Martin's Mancave, which is here. Martin's Mancave has about 67 to 68 podcasts already. The last being Rex Gatchalian. Before him, an interesting fashion icon, si Christian Espiritu. I'm sure you've heard about him. And after that, after Martin's Mancave, we launched ito, nasan ba yan? Dreamscope by Benji Felipe. So yung Dreamscope is it's a short podcast on dreams and horoscope. Tapos it's on the mystery side, and then we launched the Real Ghost Hunt. It's real ghost hunting activity turned into a podcast. About mga 2 to 3 minute podcast. Audio lang din siya. And then we launched Real Crime. It's also based on true to life stories of crime here in the Philippines. So 2 to 3 minutes ako nag-narrate nito. And then we have Dear Bayaw by Jun Sabayton. So it's a sex podcast. Essentially, we have more podcasts inside. Pero ito lang muna yung print out namin as postcards just to be able to show you what we have. So essentially, the programs are independent, artsy, and you will notice that groups like Top Gear, they just joined us recently. Meron pala kami the George Review. It's also an automotive podcast. The market that we have on SoundCloud is about 60,000 listeners. Na pabalik-balik. We've had about more than 2 million listeners, unique listeners, pero 60,000 ang bumabalik. That's not bad, you know. Until we decided just today to launch a video podcast. And that is the podcast na Martin Andanar Sumbungan Online. It's essentially a public service podcast na. Yeah, so essentially that's it. Ang pinakamahabang podcast namin ay Martin's Mancave, no? It runs for about 1 to 2 hours. It talks about the lives of interesting personalities here in the Philippines. FBR, Tony Meloto, etc. So, you name it. You check the website, podcast.ph. There. And I'll just recently, kasi more than 1 year na kami, ang sumali sa amin, made us an official partners Ramon Magsaysay Awards Foundation. So now we partner with them with the podcast. Meron mga indie rock concerts, indie groups, mga Indie-Fi, Fête de la Musique, yung mga ganon, Artbeat Tagaytay. So mostly mga artists yung partners namin dito. Kaya it's really alternative content. Right, so this room is essentially what was a garage. This room was a garage. So we knocked it down when I decided to expand the podcast from Martin's Mancave to have all of these guys. Like editor-in-chief of the Lieutenant have interviewed him also. And that area over there is a editing room. And as I mentioned, we just started to have our own video. So we have a little teleprompter there, we have all of these gadgets and stuff. So kung marami kayo gusto mag-podcast, then you go here. But if you want to have a little podcast, and so 1 or 2 guests, you can use my own studio inside, which is the Mancave. Nahilig ako sa radyo. Mga 12 years old ako, 13 eh. Sa again, di ako nakatira nun eh. Kasi meron akong maliit na... Di ba uso nun karaoke? Hindi mo na nabutan siguro yan. Pero karaoke uso nun. Bibili ka ng karaoke sa mga appliance center. Meron akong karaoke sa ile. So, and then yun, na-develop. I would listen to radio, this jockey named Michael Gray in Cagayan de Oro. Idol ko yun eh. Tapos hanggang sa nakilala ko rin siya eventually. And So alam ko na talagang radyo gusto kong pasukin, no? But I didn't have the confidence. And then, of course, sabi ko, hindi ako magiging DJ, gusto ko mag-go ng radio station, sarili. And then, when I got into the radio, tapos nasa network na ako, eventually, sabi ko, kailangan meron akong radio station before I reach the age of 40. No? So, alam mo naman, napakamahal mag-run ng radio station, di ba? Babayad ka ng prangkisa, bibili ka ng kung ano gamit, property, real estate, etc. So, how will I be able to have my own radio station? Good thing na technology caught up. No? Nagkaroon ng internet, nagkaroon ng online radio, you can set up your own. This is actually a radio station. Online lang nga siya. No? Sabi ko, hindi ako magkakaroon ng radio station na may frequency dahil hindi ko kaya bumili ng prangkisa. I'm gonna set up my own podcast radio station. So, before I turned 40, August 21 last year, I have to launch it on August last year. So, August 1, nilaunch ko siya. Hindi naman launch talaga, no? Natapos na talaga siya. And then I recorded. And then I launched the program Martin's Mancave. The first guest was Lourd De Veyra. Kasi barkada ko siya. So yan, nagiinom kami sa taas. Sabi ko, okay, launch mo na yan. Sige. Tapos nag-podcast na kami ni Lourd. So yan. And it felt good because it's a dream come true. To be able to have your own. You know? When you're working in a network where your moves are one way or another controlled, no? Because you have to follow the direction of your company, and then suddenly you have your own, and suddenly you can release, you can produce the content that you want to produce. So it felt liberating. I feel blessed na nagagawa ko yung gusto ko. Kasi maraming mga like Martin's Mancave, it won't work in TV5. Definitely, no. 1 hour, 2 hours of interview. Walang mahikinig sa'yo. No? Pero I realized that there's a certain segment of society that listens to the program that I create for myself. I mean, the program that I launch for people. And by immortalizing different important people in society through the podcast, giving them an hour or two or more just to talk about their lives, I'm giving society service because now there is an avenue for the next generations to come, to listen to and learn from the past leaders who have maybe passed on. So that's my goal. If you're a newscaster, people won't remember what newscast you read. I mean, I ask you right now. Do you remember the newscast na binasa ng the great Harry Gasser or the great
Nung RPN 9 pa.
Nalala mo kung anong newscast na binasa niya? Nalala mo ba kung ano?
Sobrang tagal na.
Sobrang tagal na, di ba? I mean, do you even remember the last newscast that the great Angelo Castro read? You can't, right? Same goes with me. I'm a newscaster. It's always a question of what you can contribute to society. So I don't think people remember me as a newscaster, but maybe somehow, somewhere, someday, when people find it in the cloud that I've done something, I've interviewed a very famous person, as long as I live right now. And if I interview one important person every week, and you can just imagine if I live up to the age of 80, ang dami kong na-interview, di ba? So that is a contribution in itself. Na. Hindi mo nila ako maalala as that newscaster, but naalala, siya nag-interview dun sa ano, and it's a contribution. FDR said that the role of each person in nation building is making sure that he works so hard today, in his time, in his lifetime, so that the world will be a better place to live in tomorrow. And ako siguro, as a broadcaster, this is what I can do, this is what I love to do, and by doing this, maybe I can help inspire other people by by documenting their lives, especially the people who really, the leaders who can inspire more people. And for example, we just watched, panonorin mo si General Luna, di ba? We're so inspired. Imagine if there was a podcast. No, I mean, people might not listen now, may have 50,000 listeners out of 100 million Filipinos. But maybe in the future, I'm very sure that the podcasts that we create, Martin's Mancave has and will be launching in the future, and the podcasts that we produce will matter in the future. I'm pretty sure.
It will live on.
It will live on. We will not live on, but the stories of these great people like Tony Meloto, Fidel Ramos, all of these senators, Dr. Cecilio Pedro, no, Happy Toothpaste, sila ni Dr. Henry Lim Bonyong, the one who developed the hybrid rice in the Philippines. All of these stories are immortalized. One day, ang mga mga kapo-apuhan natin sa tuhod, no, mapapahinggan nila, ito pala siya. At siya mismo nagsalita. Siya mismo ikinuwento niya yung buhay niya.
How to get these people to come here and then sit down on that chair and then be interviewed?
Well, it was rain. I think it was on my part. I had a strategy. If I could get FBR on a podcast, everybody will follow. So to me, well, of course, it helps na nasa TV ka na, di ba? Na-interview mo yung mga tao sa TV, tapos sir, guess naman, gusto mo kayo sir, anong podcast? Ano yun? Basta sir, maintindihan mo yun. Alam niyo yung BBC? Alam ko yung BBC. Parang ganun lang. Alam yung Voice of America? Ganun yung mga programa natin. I even had the ambassador of the United States sitting there where you're sitting.
Wow.
Yeah. Si Goldberg. I even had the Australian ambassador sitting there, the New Zealand ambassador sitting there. I'm going to have the Korean ambassador sitting there. The Chinese ambassador, hopefully. Talk about the Spratlys. So, yun. It helps to... Kaya yun, unahin dapat yung pinaka... Alam mo, si Duterte, di ba nagpagay si Duterte? Kaya naman di magpagay si Binay. Talaga kasi, ang hirap ipaliwanag eh. Hindi usong audio documentary sa bansa natin. Ang hirap ipaliwanag. So, kaya kailangan ng icebreaker. Of course, i-invite ko si mga Sani Angara na medyo bata pa, naiintindihan ko ng podcast. JB Ejercito, yung mga ganun. Tapos, Rock and Radio, they had their own reunion podcast. Sila Gang Badoy, sila ni Erwin Romulo. Tapos yun nga, sumunod na after them, sunod-sunod na, meron tayong Ramon Magsaysay Awards. Now we're turning the old interviews of the Ramon Magsaysay Awards into a podcast, like the one with Mother Teresa, when she won the Ramon Magsaysay Awards, na hindi pa siya santo nun, buhay pa siya nun, di ba? So they're sending us the materials now. As I mentioned earlier, the #1 car magazine, Top Gear, no less. Podcast sila. And we're producing it for free.
Sino pa yung sa tingin nyo parang gusto nyo pang mapaupo dito sa seat na?
Imelda Marcos.
Pero nakausap nyo na ba? Or...
Yeah, we've been trying to. We've been trying. I think Bongbong Marcos. I think Bongbong is coming over. No? Sino pa ba? You know, ito sadly, we were communicating with the wife of Joker Arroyo.
Joker, yes.
No Saturday. She messaged us. Pag-uwi na namin galing States kasi nandito kami sa abroad ngayon. We'll have the senator in your podcast. Tapos Sunday namatay.
Oo nga.
So sad. So sad. Yeah. So, sino kang gusto mo yung podcast? Rene Sagisag, we're inviting him also. Sino pa ba? Basta lahat, air-up, you know. So, si, Zubel, di Ayala. One of them, Jaime, to narrate the story of his family.
Okay.
We all know Zubel, the Ayala. So I wanted to come from him. I want him to narrate the story of his father, his grandfather, how they get to where they are right. I want to know how his brain works. I want to know if he's more Filipino than Spanish, or Filipino than Spaniard. No? Sino ho ba? And we see, these guys, mga businessmen. Pinaka-ultimate ko talaga na gusto ko ma-interview are the unsung heroes. People who are doing well in society, helping other people, but they're not famous. But alam mong, sila, tumutulong sila. Yung mga doctor to the barrios, yung mga misyonaryo, yung mga ganun. I want to meet these people. Because, there are more unsung heroes than heroes. Sung heroes. Facebook has features that YouTube does not. Features that most people use. And I think the last survey was 6 or 7 out of 10 Filipinos are on Facebook. And if you're on YouTube, you're just on video. Not everybody can just play videos on YouTube because of our problem with our internet connectivity. Yes. So on Facebook, if you're not on video, you can be on photo. So the difference between the 2013 election and 2016 is that in 2013, Facebook was there, but there was no video. Now, there's video. And according to Publicos, according to Manutiquia, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 30 to 40% of the population would subscribe or would be swayed by a political ad. So imagine these politicians playing their own videos on Facebook and boosting and advertising it. I read in one article that they're beginning to, they're already planning on how to monetize videos on Facebook. No, they'll get there. They'll get there. The good thing about Mark Zuckerberg is that he does not believe in monetization straight right away. Just remember that when he first launched Facebook, it was not. He didn't monetize it. He didn't make money.
Everything was free.
For free. Ngayon, wow, he makes making a lot of money. Diba? So yun ang style niya. Parang kumagat muna kayo, you draw the audience first. Once you have audience, then we monetize. The future, I think, is Facebook. That's the internet. To us, kung internet natin is www.google.com for a lot of Filipinos, for a lot of citizens of the world. Facebook ang internet sa kanila. Pag bukas na pa, Facebook agad lumalabas. Diba? It's crazy. But of course, YouTube.
Sir, it's very obvious, pero I'm going to ask pa rin. Why call the podcast Martin's Mancave?
Mancave. Yeah. Because the entire place, everything you see here was designed by myself. And whatever you see in this house is about me. And it's very important to have your own space even if you're married. Diba kaya nga nauso yung mga his and hers or blah. So when you step inside this house, it's all about the things that I love to do. And yeah, that's why it's Martin's Man Cave. And when you're inside Martin's Man Cave, we all talk about either your life or my life, share, and you must be a very important person.